On Hulu, I watched, from 1997, Double Team, starring Jean-Claude Van Damme and Dennis Rodman. I hadn't seen this before, and it's pretty damn bad, which that is the reputation this movie has. So, we start out, and I want to say that this is a $30 million movie, when that was a pretty considerable amount of money, so it's like a medium budget look. Yeah, maybe a still here and there. Looks like an actual blockbuster, but there are some things working against it. Very beginning of the movie, we see Jean-Claude Van Damme, can't remember his character's name here. He's got his thumb bandaged, and I'm like, why is this? Why has he got some bandage on a thumb? He's holding some keys. He's about to bust in. He's in some secure facility. He's taking like some armory thing, all right? And some guys are chasing him. Now, this chase forebodes how this movie's going down because it has some of the shittiest editing. This movie is directed by Tsui Hark, who was a producer of A Better Tomorrow, the seminal classic dual-wielding, it popularized dual-wielding in Eastern films out of Hong Kong. And you get a little bit of flavor here, but not necessarily dual-wielding. He also made some Hong Kong kung fu stuff with Jet Li. Once Upon a Time in China, hadn't seen it. My understanding is people like the franchise, but more on that in a bit. The editing, it conveys no sense of geography. It's almost like we're watching random scenes that are unrelated. And we just have to be like, oh, I guess that's a car chase. I guess the car did that. We're kind of cutting before the action instead of on the action. So we end up not seeing things too well. Jean-Claude aiming for the ramp so that he can get over the train. Didn't see that. Car's just kind of airborne and now it's landing. He gets away. He goes and meets up with his wife who has a butterfly tattoo that comes into place, sort of. She's pregnant. They talk about this like they hadn't even noticed. Nothing of the dialogue is any good. Jean-Claude Van Damme is getting called in to do one more job. He has to take out this guy, Stavros, played by Mickey Rourke, who I'll probably be referring to from this point forward as Mickey Rourke. Mickey Rourke actually looks pretty good here. When he gets his shirt off later, I mean, this guy, he did some boxing in his day. He looks pretty tough. Pretty rugged dude. So, he's some kind of hitman, I guess. Or he's into some arms, whatever. And Jean-Claude Van Damme has to lead some team to take him out. They're at some fairgrounds anyways. This stuff didn't go down too well. This woman comes out. She has a kid with her. He gives the kid a toy. And he sees that Van Damme's going to be shooting at him, shoots the woman that's going to snipe him. Kind of understandable move here. Then bullets just come out of the woodwork. People are getting riddled up. And we have the woman gets killed. And then Mickey Rourke runs to the kid, but he ends up taking a bullet too. So now he's talking about how this is personal and all this shit. He runs off, and this doesn't make any sense because it's just like we'll cut to some place and he's taking out some security guards. Like, when did he get there? When did he have the chance to hop in this building? It just doesn't add up. So he's in the building and there's like all these kids. Like, there's some kind of weird thing about this movie. Like, everything turns into a hospital. So there's babies. And he's having this fight with Jean-Claude Van Damme. Or rather, Jean-Claude Van Damme is fighting Mickey Rourke's body double. Stunt double. And there's an explosion. Jean-Claude Van Damme is hurt a little bit. He saves a baby, whatever. But he's taken to this place, the Colony, where they kind of have these retired agents living there on the colony, too dangerous to let go, but valuable enough not to kill. And this is kind of interesting idea. So you have like this hitman retirement home. Don't really touch enough on this. We have Van Damme training himself up to make an escape because his wife has been informed that he died. Everybody thinks he's a ghost now. And he gets an escape together, but this could have been more compelling. it's a weird training montage too, because it's just kind of like, what is he doing? Is the editing bad because of a lack of coverage? You know, as somebody who does a lot of editing, I have to wonder if that's the case. Because there's so many close-ups of things without us actually seeing the talent do it. Anyways, there's lasers in the water. He waits for this plane to come by with a shipment of stuff. And he makes his escape. He gets in the water, climbs aboard the boat that's going to retrieve it. And they snatch things back. I guess, what are they doing? Laundry service? So he gets aboard this. Well, he holds on to this cargo that's being towed off, like in The Dark Knight, and fights some guys aboard, asks him if they have parachutes, then throws them off. That's polite. Not a bad-looking scene. There are bad-looking scenes in the movie. There are explosions that look cheap and terrible in CGI, but when it came to flying, yeah, they kind of got that down. Anyways, previously he hooked up with this guy Yaz, played by Dennis Rodman. And I don't mean hooked up like that. He was to supply arms for his team for that fight at the fairgrounds. Well, he goes back to Yaz, says he needs some armory stuff. And Dennis Rodman is terrible, stilted performance. All of his lines have something to do with basketball. Air ball, defense, this and that. I don't play with the bad boys anymore. You know, maybe the bad boys thing was okay, but can it there, really? So he's going to give him some guns and stuff, and he's going to take this in exchange that Van Damme gives him some codes to some bank account or something to rip off. But Van Damme kind of lies about this, says it was going to be empty anyways, but that he has to save his wife and unborn kid. And Rodman's like, okay, sure. They also do a parachute thing where they don't parachute. They drop out of the sky and get into a giant gray basketball and don't die when they crash. Then they go jet setting. They're in Rome, having a shootout with Mickey Rourke there. For weird reasons, Van Damme's wife, who I guess is a sculptor, is being told by some museum in Italy that they want to have some of her pieces or a gallery. And so she's like, okay, I'll fly in. Oh, I'm pregnant and all this stuff, but and my husband died 4 months ago. It's been pretty rough. Oh, okay. Well, you know, we'll take care of you, says this lady. And you're thinking, okay, this is some setup that Mickey Rourke is behind this, right? Kinda? I don't know. Because as the movie goes on, Rodman and Van Damme hook up with some monks who are actually in surveillance, but they're also monks. And they give them this location to where Mickey Rourke's got his wife kept, and they converted some area into a hospital, I guess. Just everything becomes hospital if it looks cool. So she's gonna give birth, and Mickey Rourke's there. She's like, who are you people, and all this stuff. Well, then Mickey Rourke gives this order to have both ladies killed. I'm thinking, isn't the one that was kind of keeping an eye on Van Damme's wife on his team? Like, what is this crap? It's never explained. No, you set me up. None of that. It doesn't make a lick of sense. So then we have a situation here where the lady that we kind of thought was bad saves his wife, kills the guy that was going to take them out. And Van Damme and Rodman are busting the place up, shooting up everybody. There's a tiger on the loose at some point. They go to the Colosseum, though I don't think it's actually in Rome. This is some Antwerp replica of sorts, where they actually have this battle. Rourke had set some traps, well, some mines in this under the surface in the fighting area, and he let a tiger loose, and this is going to fight Van Damme. And yeah, I'm not really sure how they did this. Maybe they just trained the tiger to take a kick from Van Damme, because it looked fairly authentic to me. But you know, they're going around taking out the bad guys. Rodman's got the kid. Maybe this was the same area where they had the hospital. Maybe it's the same building. I don't recall. But the interesting thing here is that the tiger's on the loose. just kind of messing up everybody, and it looks better than what they did on The Walking Dead. So anyways, they get back to the fighting arena floor, and they think they all stepped on landmines, but Dennis Rodman says he moved a few around. Now Mickey Rourke's on a landmine, and a tiger's coming after him. He takes his foot off, blows him and the tiger up. I'm assuming the tiger died. They had a little fight here, and at first I was thinking, it's so weird whenever they're talking, they don't seem to be in the frame together. Could they not get both actors on the same day? But during the fight, you can actually see them in the same frame. But that's this movie. It's like everything is so close up, you can't tell anybody's doing things. When Dennis Rodman fires a gun in his facility, it just goes straight to his face, and then you see the target. And I guess you're assuming he shot. You don't see him shooting the gun. It's so weird. You know, I have to say though, the budget Netflix, I mean like straight to video, you see them on Netflix with Seagal movies right now, they're actually cheaper than this. A cheap movie in '97 looks a lot better than a cheap movie today. Still, Double Team didn't make a lot of sense. Oh yeah, another thing. So he escaped, and we have this guy following him. And he was like the leader at the colony, played by Paul Freeman, who you probably know best as the villain, the top villain, other than Adolf Hitler, I suppose, in Raiders of the Lost Ark. And he's also his secret guardian, the guy who has to take out Jean-Claude Van Damme if he escapes. But he seems to understand the situation, that he had a kid, his wife, he took out the bad guy, so he actually finished the job that he botched that put him in the colony. And so he decides not to kill him. He just wanted like some souvenir, cut his hair, his shirt, and be like, hey, here's the evidence, I got him. DNA test. There's a lot of weird shit going on in this movie about identification. Everywhere they go, you have to put your hand on this. You need your thumbprint for this. At one point, Van Damme cuts his thumbprint off and uses it on the machine to verify that he's in the building when he's not. Otherwise, I guess you get killed by nerve gas. So it's like you have 5 minutes to do this. Did it really need to be timed to the last second? This device he made? Doubtful. But anyways, Paul Freeman kind of lets him go. But anyways, Dennis Rodman throws an explosive at him. Some like ninja smokescreen shit on a coin. And then he makes his getaway. Like, it's like, what the hell? This doesn't make any sense. That was excessive. But Paul Freeman takes it in jest. Oh wow, you're pretty cool. Toodaloo. Yeah, toodaloo, whatever. And there's our movie. Jesus, it's weird. Double Team, 1.5 out of 4 stars.